Good morning. Welcome to the Kehillat Shari Torah review of Sefer HaMitzvot, Rambam's Maimonides collection of the 613 mitzvot for Friday, the 18th of June. We'll mention a couple very familiar mitzvahs today. Mitzvah number 12, we're going through the positive mitzvot first. Mitzvah number 12 in the positive mitzvot is the head tefillin, phylactery of the head. By this mitzvah, we are commanded to wear the tefillin on the head. And it says, they shall be frontlets before your eyes. Totafot beinenecha. Now, the Torah does say between your eyes. So the way we explain that in halach is they should be between your eyes. In other words, centered between your eyes, but not literally between the eyebrows or at the middle of the eyebrow if you only have one. Rather, they should be at the top of the head and they should be centered between the eyes. So that's why you'll see some people look with a little mirror to see if their tefillin are on properly. Some people, as a sign of affection, go over and tweak their friend's tefillin, get them just in the right place. Okay, so that's one mitzvah which is repeated 4 different times in the Torah, twice in Exodus, twice in Deuteronomy. Mitzvah number 13, the next mitzvah, phylactery of the arm tefillin. By this mitzvah, we are commanded to wear tefillin of the arm. And this mitzvah is explained, and you should bind, where it says, and you should bind them as a sign upon your hand. Also repeated 4 times, the same 4 times that we said about the head tefillin. All the detailed rules of these 2 mitzvahs are set out in Perek Dalet, in the 4th chapter of Tractate Menachos. If you want to look up the Gemaras there, where it talks about the order of the parshas and the shape of the batim, and so on. Next mitzvah, positive mitzvah number 14. This mitzvah teaches us that we are commanded to make tzitzit, to make fringes, tzitzis, on the corners of our garments. We say that you should put fringes in the corners of your garments, and on each one should have a thread of blue. That is the expression of the Torah in chapter 15, verse number 38. Chapter 15, verse 38 of the book of Numbers. You can see it there, and you can ask the question. So, if the Torah says it so clearly, why don't all of us wear a thread of blue? Those who wear tzitzis should maybe have a thread of blue. You'll notice that in our shul, we have the great diversity of practice. Some people do wear a blue fringe, and some people do not. And that has to do with a little bit of a technical question in halacha. For many years, that fringe was lost. The ability to make the proper blue. It can't just be any blue, like with a magic marker or with a piece of, blue thread. You actually have to use a particular sea animal to obtain that blue dye. And apparently, for a number of centuries, that was lost. So when it was regained in the late 1800s, there was and has been since then a variance of practice among Jews. Some do include the tcheles, the fringe of the string of blue, and some omit it, as has been done throughout a good part, the last portion of Jewish history. Okay, and that also you can find in Menachos. You find the discussion there of how to make the fringes and what does it mean on the corners, and the also discussion about the thread of blue and so on. Mitzvah number 15, positive mitzvah number 15. But this teaches us, this mitzvah commands us to make a mezuzah, to write these words upon the doorpost of your house. So you have that in a number of places also throughout the Torah. You have it in the 6th chapter and also the 11th chapter of Chumash Devarim of Deuteronomy, which we're going to encounter in the not too distant future. The idea here is that whoever comes or goes in and out of the house will encounter this reminder of the unity of Hashem's name, the unity of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Remember to love God, rouse ourselves from our spiritual slumber, and from our errors in pursuing the follies of the passing hour. Rather, focus on what's truly important. Okay, so let's pause there, and we'll continue with more positive mitzvahs after Shabbat, after Shabbos. Speaking of Shabbos, earliest candlelighting this afternoon, 7:25 p.m. Were we to gather in shul? We're not going to do it this week in the evening, but hopefully soon, because we're getting back to getting ourselves accustomed to coming to shul again. So that would be 7 o'clock. Maybe we'll all daven Kabbalat Shabbat together at home. Even though we're in different homes, we could still daven together. Actual candlelighting time, 8:44. 16 minutes to 9 is candlelighting time. We will have Shacharis tomorrow morning. A good number of people have signed up. So if you haven't, I think the time for signing up might have passed already. But try. It doesn't hurt to try. And promise yourself you'll sign for next week. Then you'll be in good shape. That'll be 10 o'clock. We have been doing a slightly abbreviated service which runs about an hour and 3/4 or so since the COVID period when we've been allowed to come to shul. That's been our practice. So we start at 10 o'clock. Shabbat ends at 9:58, 2 minutes to 10. So at 10:08, everyone is welcome to join us for Zoom Havdalah. Please do so and have a wonderful Shabbat. Good Shabbos. All the very best.